Hello the folks, it is TIJ Gaming, and welcome back to the Tour de France 2020 Pro Team Career Mode. Today, it is time for episode 4 of Season 3 in the continuation of the second tour of Season 3, and that is Paris-Nice. Now, last time out in episode 3, we did the first two stages of Paris-Nice, and there isn't really too much to discuss. In the first stage, it was a time trial, everything went okay, not too fussed about that. And the second stage was another flat-ish stage, and we got some decent points with Ben Swift and Van Baal, but not really much to write home about. There's been no climbs yet, so no points in the polka dot jersey. We're looking decent in the green points classification. We're probably looking for a few more points than what we've got already, but I'm sure we could take advantage in the later, more hilly stages. But again, no problem at the moment. We've got Lawless, who's second in the Young Rider classification. He's doing quite impressively. And again, it'll be a choice made later on in this tour who we prioritise for the general classification. So, no points gained apart from the 12 we gained in the last stage. So, it's looking good, still at the top of the Pro Cycling rankings. So, that's looking good. And today we've got two hilly stages. And yeah, this should be very exciting. There's a few guys that have struggled to recover from the last stage, the likes of Van Baal in particular. But hopefully Van Baal can have a bit of a break today. But today it's time for stage 3 and stage 4. And obviously first, it's time for stage number 3.
Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker. Perfect for attacking, which should suit the punches, and an opportunity to lead the general classification. The team members of the favourites will probably manage the time gaps in order to fight for victory on the final climb. You'll have to do your utmost to avoid breaks so as not to lose time on the general classification. Good race to you all!
Hello cycling fans everywhere. The last 30 kilometres in the Auvergne Mountains are conducive to attacks. We should see plenty of movement with the favourites for the overall standings obliged to come to the fore.
This third stage is a lot trickier than it looks. Apparently it's only a hilly stage, that's because there aren't any real mountain passes, but there are 5 climbs. You don't find many stages where you've got 5 climbs. So it's going to be a really tough day. And given the severity of those climbs, it is going to be a leg breaker, as discussed before. Now, one man we didn't discuss in introduction was this man, Valentin Medus, who's usually one of our big players. But he's a little bit off. He's about 60 seconds off the top guy in the classification with the yellow jersey. So we are purely just going to use him for climbs for this tour. Unless there's some freak result today where he manages to pull off a really good result, I don't know. And managed to get the gap back. But we're really looking for Medus purely for that mountain classification. And probably looking for Theo Gegenhardt to win the general classification. Again, that's a choice we're going to have to make a little bit later on in this tour. But at the moment, that's what my plans are. Obviously, Ben Swift, Van Baal, both guys that can go for the green jersey. Van Baal really an all-round man. Not in terms of the climbs necessarily, but points and the yellow jersey, but also Chris Lawless. I think his name's Chris, I'm not sure. Chris Lawless is another name that's going to be interesting. McClay's been a little bit disappointing, I'll be honest. A little bit too far off, but Lawless might just force his name in the reckoning a little bit later on. So it's nice to have a really good team of guys who are all really competitive, and that really helps us. It gives us a good problem, obviously. It gives us a good problem to have in that we've got a lot of names and we have to make some big decisions about who are going to be the big guns. But as usually happens with these early breakaways, it's not succeeded. And there's been another breakaway and Medus hasn't followed it. So we're just going to get Medus to follow any further attacks and hopefully we can get him one of these breakaways. Because that's the only chance that Medus has got really of getting the yellow jersey. But as I said before, we're really planning on Medus just being the polka dot man. What a nickname that would be. Well, it's not worked for Valentin Medus. He's really struggling. He's obviously just got no fitness. We've struggled to keep him away from blowing up. I know his condition is poor, but I still expected him to have a little bit of a better showing today. In terms of our sprinters, let's try and get something going in this sprint. The first of 3 sprints, I think, today. Yeah, Van Baal and McClay. Get those guys to go for it on the sprinters. Of course, we've got our main man here, Ben Swift, so we're going to go for it for as well. I don't think Medus will be caught for 5th place, even though he's a long way off the guys at the front. Again, there's just no point persisting, really, sometimes, if you guys are that tired, really. But we've got a bit of energy with Ben Swift, so I'm going to just try and put a bit of pace in here. Not too much. but just try and force the pace. And actually, that's really not worked. That's really not worked. Because they've followed us, no surprise. Well, the top 4 have crossed the line. Yeah, this hasn't really worked, has it, to be honest? It might do, though. They might run out of energy before the end, you never know. But yeah, this hasn't worked as I wanted it to, actually, in the end. That's a little bit disappointing. Ben Swift picks up 12th in that sprint. Gegenhardt and... Van Baal and McLeod don't get anything. But that, for the first time in a while, is a real...
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race.
Caught napping. Well, not necessarily caught napping moment, but shooting ourselves in the foot moment. I'm going to just get Medus to wait for this next group, to be honest, because, again, he's really struggling at this point. It's obviously just not going to be his tour. At the end of the day, he obviously hasn't got the fitness, and it's not working out for him. So we'll just get him to follow and not override, because he definitely could be somebody who later in the tour could be a bit of a stumbling block for others, but I just don't think he's got the energy at the moment. So we've got to bear that in mind. I think in terms of riders with a good condition who can maybe go for it here, I think Van Baal's the only one who can follow attacks. So, again, this is going to be tricky for the Mountains classification. I really don't know what to do. I mean, Gegenhardt, I suppose. Maybe. I just don't... maybe it's just not our battle to fight today. Because I think later on in the stage, we'll definitely benefit. Because we've got some very good punchers. But I don't want to use them all. You can see that Medus is struggling already, and I don't want the rest of our guys to all be like that before the end of this Paris-Nice. So we're going to sit it out for this first climb, I think. And then I think by the time we get to that run of 4 climbs, I could be wrong, and we might have shot ourselves in the foot. But I think that we can definitely take advantage of the peloton catching up to the breakaway. Well, there's 5 points available for this first climb, and as you can see, they have been distributed. We couldn't get in the top 4. The breakaway does consist of 4 riders, but we've definitely caught that breakaway up at this point, so I'm happy with that. 4 guys in the breakaway. No one I particularly recognise, so I don't think it'll be anybody who's too worrying for the overall classification, although we've got to bear in mind that we've got to go for this sprint a little bit better this time. We've got to go about it a little bit better, or else we might not walk away from this with any classifications and any jerseys at all, because I've just got a feeling... that I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I just get a bad feeling about this this tour for some reason. It's not quite going for us at the moment. But we've got Ben Swift making a real effort on the relay, a little bit too much to be honest. Needing to calm it a little. Probably that's maybe one of the problems with going for it on the relay. We've just seen it with Ben Swift. He's absolutely bombing it around. And that seems a little bit silly to me. Just have a little bit of feed. Bearing in mind, of course, this has got to last till the end of the stage. So you would think the 4 guys ahead are going to take all the points. Again, I don't think they're much of a risk for the points classification. But we've got to do far better in this sprint than we've done before. I think getting behind Sagan wouldn't be a bad idea. He's a solid sprinter. Maybe in Groenewegen here. Let's not worry about getting behind people. Again, it's just not happening for us today. It's not happening for us. We're not getting in a rhythm at all. We're going to pick up 12, but again, it's very little, really, in the grand scheme of things. Let's see if any of our other guys got any points. Gegenhardt got 3 points. Well, great. And Medus got a point. Brilliant. I'm happy with that. Awesome. Just wait for the following group now. And again, we'll just sit back for the rest of the stage. Well, not the rest of the stage, but for a while now. Again, there's just something off about this. Our riders don't seem in peak form at all. They lost a lot on those early stages. You can see Medus, Swift, Lawless and Bjerge not in good condition at all. So hopefully that'll improve as we get to tomorrow's stage. I guess the only 2 we can go for it with then is Gegenhardt and Van Baal. I would say McLeod, but again, he's not been brilliant recently, so we'll have to wait it out. I think the peloton will catch up to this breakaway naturally, but we might have to force the issue in a little while. So this is the first of the 4 climbs in a row. It's a 3rd class climb this, and what we're trying to do before we get to the top is to catch the breakaway. Try and get some points in the mountains classification. Now, this climb isn't so important, but if we can halt the breakaway, that would really help. Using a lot of our energy here, but we're nearly at the 5 kilometre line. It's important just to catch up to them nice and early. But, again, they don't look that quick. So I think we should be okay. Long climb this, actually. 9 kilometres, but not such a steep gradient. Pardon me, not such a steep gradient. As you can see, there's the 3 guys ahead. There are some guys being left behind now, so we need to just check that one out a little. Make sure we don't make any silly mistakes with our guys. You can see the breakaways there. And very soon, it will be breakaway no more. Just got to manage our energy with Gegenhardt. And I'll see you guys a little bit close to the top. Hopefully, though. Well, the one bonus is that we've done what we wanted to. We caught the breakaway. And now we can go for the 2 points at the top. But Christoph wants to attack. Again, we're just going to burn energy by doing that. So I think we're going to let him go. Yeah. They're just teasing, I think. I don't think we should worry too much. So we're a kilometre away now from the top of this climb. We've recovered a bit of our energy. And as you can see, it's no real climb at all. This isn't, to be honest. And we've gone early. And I think that should be enough for the 2 points. Good stuff from Gegenhardt there. Looks like Michael Bjerg's been dropped. But again, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over that. We'll just tell McClay to... Actually, they're alright because they're coming back down now. Although, I mean, it's debatable how far we're going to come down because it wasn't that big of a climb. But 2 points. Our first points in the mountain classification for this. That's good. Ooh, well. Green Jersey man's fell back, which isn't the biggest thing in the world, I suppose. But if Swifty can stay there to the end, it's certainly a good chance to get some points on the final climb. Only 40 kilometres to go now, and a lot will happen between now and the end. So, tighten your seatbelts and fasten them. And let's have a look what happens at the end, before the end of the stage. So here we are then, for the first second-class climb. Just look at how sharp this gets in a minute. This isn't the tough bit. It gets really tough in a minute. And this might be one where there are some riders like the one we've just passed that are going to really struggle. I mean, I can't believe some of these guys have got that much energy. Gegenhardt's one of the best climbers, and we've not exactly got that much energy with him. But a lot of riders are going to start to struggle, and particularly on this steep climb in a minute. That's why I think it's probably good just to take a bit of a chill. But I can't believe how many riders are struggling. This is really going to be the first evidence of where the general classification can be rocked. But the good news is that all of our guys, bar 2, Bjerg and McClay, are in that top group. That's vital, isn't it? But this is where it gets tricky. What's the gradient going to be? Not the gradient. What's the percentage of the climb going to be? Oh, 10%. Just look at this. This isn't nice at all. And to be honest, we're not that well placed here. Well, certainly not with Gegenhardt. He's the man we wanted near the front, but he's really struggling. Who else have we got? Van Bart, I mean, Swifty's struggling. Just telling him to proceed smoothly. So is Medus. So is Lawless. Van Bart's probably our best hope here. And even he's struggling. I don't think this is going to be our tour, you know. It's just not going for us at the moment. Really not. And I possibly think it's not worth going for this here. I think we'll just tell all of our guys to persist smoothly. Just make sure we don't lose too much pace. I mean, what's happened to Van Baal here? Huh, he's just stopped. This is concerning though. I mean, even Gegenhardt's blown up. This is not ended well for us at all. I don't know how this has happened. There was only a kilometre to go. And I thought, well, we won't go for it. Tell him to persist smoothly and we'll be alright. But that's an absolute disaster. I think this stage has been a bit like that, to be honest. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know whether I've picked too many of our guys who were shattered from La Route course. I don't know if it's a fitness problem. I really don't. Strange this, but we can recover some of our energy coming back down, so that's no problem. Just tell everyone to ride... can we... No, we can't stick to the wheels in front, unfortunately. Yeah, we can with Swift, because he's in a group. So tell them guys to stick to the wheels in front. Ride hard, Medus. Stick to the wheels in front with Van Baal. And Gegenhardt in 28th place is our best placed man. That is not good reading. So we now come up the penultimate climb of the day. It's not been our day today. It really hasn't, but I don't want to use too much energy. Again, it just seems stupid. If we use far too much energy, then we're really ruling ourselves out. I can deal with being out of the general classification. That's okay, I suppose, but if we burn too much today, then we're not going to be able to get any of the classifications. Looking okay with Gegenhardt, though. Van Baal and Medus. Just ensure a minimum tempo, I think. I think this stage has gone from us, to be honest, at this point. I don't think there's much point worrying about it. Just get a minimum tempo in there. Oh, man. Why is Medus losing so much energy? I mean, I'm telling them all to persist and persist smoothly, set a low tempo, but instead they're absolutely pelting it. I don't get this game sometimes, I really don't. I'm telling them to persist smoothly and then they're just going for it like madmen. Strange. Not our day though today. And I think he's going to set a... I mean, well, I'll give up with Medus. I really give up with him. He's a great rider at times, but I just don't get it today. I really don't. Really don't get it with him. It's just not worked out at all. So we've got the top 11, and then a few different groups, but just look at how far we are behind. We might as well just skip all the way to the final climb, because this has been nothing short of a disaster for us. But, you know, I'd argue, what could we have done about it? Might as well take our feed when we get to the 5 kilometre line. And I'm amazed Medus is actually still in there as such. That's amazing, but yeah, it's not been our day in terms of today's stage. Just have to realign our focus for other events. Other stages, sorry. Oh, crying out loud. It really isn't our day today. But we have to live with that at the end of the day. What can we do about it? Might as well just tell our guys to attack. Can't believe we're 6 minutes behind. They've actually finished at the front. That's embarrassing. Really is. Might as well just go for it though now. Again, we've got a bit of a descent. Just try and gain as much time as possible. It's not really going to mean much because we're going to be 6 odd minutes behind. I think we can officially say we're out of this. But what a strange stage. Just not been our day today. Usually works well for us, but clearly not today. It's not worked. But I mean, we're gaining some time at the end. Tell Medus again just to attack. And half a kilometre to go. I mean, Gegenhardt's going to end up finishing 29th here, which isn't too bad at all. But it's nowhere near where we wanted to be. And having our top rider in 29th is, well, a disaster. Don't know what to make of that. Don't know what to make of that. I know our guys weren't in the best condition, but we've been battered in that stage. Disappointing. So then, let's have a look at the podium. I can't remember who won the stage. Was it Pogacar? No, it was Yates. Oh, okay. So he's going to have the general classification. Points classification is still Groenewegen. Izaguirre is the best climber, and Pogacar is the best young rider. Oh, it hurts not to have any of our guys up there.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't prove me wrong.
Well, no point dwelling on that. We all saw what happened and we just have to take it. Going Going to be tricky from here on, though. I mean, the climbing classification is definitely one that's open to us. Points classification, possibly. But I think the yellow jersey is a little bit too much. As I say, there's no point looking back at that. We just need to change what we want out of this, basically. Green jersey and polka dot jersey. We've got one more stage today. Another hilly stage. Not too bad, though, I don't think, as much. And, yeah, let's focus on the sprints and the climbs.
Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker. Perfect for attacking, which should suit the punches. It may be worth slipping into the early breakaway, because if we pick up enough King of the Mountains points, we can take the polka dot jersey. We're not amongst the favourites for the stage, but there are ways to surprise the favourites and pull off a good result by attacking from far out. Good race to you all!
Hello and welcome to all. The final circuit, as well as the approaches to it, will be a severe test for many riders. With classified climbs spread evenly across the final 60 kilometres, stamina and explosiveness will be the main requirements to be well placed today. We're in for some fireworks at the finish.
Well, I think today is a similar stage to the last one. In terms of, there's a lot of action at the end, but with this one in particular, there's a big section in the middle where there's a lull. Nothing going on. And we've got the first climb, the first sprint, and then nothing until the feed. So it's a good chance, I think, definitely to do something today. And that's why we've got our two guys, the only two still in decent condition. I mean, we've got Lawless and Bierge, but Lawless is a flat rider, and Bierge isn't too great either. So we've got our two big guns in the early breakaway, because I think at this point that's the only chance we're going to have of doing something. So we've got early climbs, and let's see how we get on. We've been joined by Pichon in the early breakaway. I think that the peloton might well catch up, and Gegenhardt needs to be careful here. There you go, moving back. Good. But, again, it's frustrating. I mean, look at Bierge. Already, Bierge has run out of energy on the red gel side. We've been going for, what, 3 kilometres? Crazy. Yeah, it really didn't go far, did it? That one didn't. But there's going to be another attack now. And this is what I hate about these breakaways. You go for one, and it's just a waste of energy. I mean, why has Bierge joined us? No. He was obviously protecting someone, wasn't he? Well, again, I don't think this breakaway is going to work. The one breakaway you don't go for is the one that's going to work, and you watch this one will work now. Just no good using too much energy, and, well, yeah, you watch this breakaway work now. Well, they're 36 seconds away, so I think it's worth going for it with Gegenhardt. Again, is it worth it, though? I mean, there's, what, 2 points available here? I think we're possibly getting a little bit too picky and not just going for an opportunity. That might be the problem. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys near the top of the climb, and we'll see if we can take any points out of this climb. Well, we've managed to break away with Gegenhardt here. We got back up to the guys in the breakaway and just went for it. Again, we can use pretty much all of our gel here. There's no problem with that. Because obviously we've got a feed. Well, we've got the sprint, which we're not too bothered about. These points are what we are bothered about. I notice we have got guys behind that are catching up. And that does include Van Baal. I mean, we could have got him to take his feed, but we didn't. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. But I think we should be good to take the points here. We'll just go on board with Van Baal. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it. Well, no points for Van Baal. Just misjudged that one, really. But 2 points for Theo Gegenhardt. We've then got the sprint, which we'll fast forward to. And then it's a long lull until the end. Well, that escalated quickly. Jesus Christ. After that climb, we just fast forwarded and, well, would you look at that? A breakaway of over 3 minutes. I can't believe that. I really can't believe that. Baffling. I don't know how they get that sort of a gap so quickly. I mean, this is like in a few kilometres. We didn't slow down that much. But anyway, we've got the first 2 sprints today. Those 4, well, we've got Barguilu's 5th in the sprinting classification. And might well move up to top if he can get all the points here. He only gets 15 points, but he'll certainly take that. But we need some big points with Ben Swift here. Definitely. And else we could be out of this classification if we're not careful. Come on, Swifty. We'll tell Van Baarle and McLeod to attack as well, but probably just a little bit too late with those 2. But again, we're just a bit powerless here. That being said, this could be a bit better. It's not really happened at the end, though. And we're across in 6th. That's good. We'll take that. Does Van Baarle manage to get any points? Let's see. Where are you, Van Baarle? There you go, 3 points. I'll take that. Quite happy with that. But a good amount of points for Ben Swift. Got more than whoever's leading the classifications. That's something definitely worth being proud of. And now it's a big, big, big lull until the climbs at the end. So we can just chill. I think probably just don't overtire at this point. Just chill in this middle point of the race. And I'll see you guys in the last 60 kilometres. But a long way to go before we get there. Well, the guys at the front have done well, to be fair, to get their breakaway. You can't criticise them. And they, I mean, just look at McLeod and Bierge at the back. It's a sight for sore eyes, isn't it, that is? We're not going to get any points out of this climb. It's really the next climb that we're going to look at potentially getting some points out. I think the peloton will probably catch up before that next climb. But Bierge and McLeod, well, yeah, they're completely out of it. So I think Gegenhardt and Van Baarle are the 2 guys we're going to focus on. Try and get some points. And, well, who knows? Well, it's his first class climb, but I'm not too sure why. I mean, we're 2.5 kilometres away from the top, and it's not started yet. I mean, sure, it's going to be steep, but again, I don't see this being a first class climb, particularly compared to some of the other climbs that we've done in the past. So 2 points available for whoever's in the peloton, and 1 point for 6th. But those guys at the front have masterminded a really good breakaway. You have to be fair to them. Van Aert's been dropped. He was one of the favourites beforehand. That's a shock. I don't think he has, though. I think that it's just a case of the peloton moving up and down and things going on as... I mean, we're apparently in a breakaway, and probably we are now, to be honest. We will get Van Baarle to attack. He's got the energy. We might as well attack with Gegenhardt as well. Try and catch up these escapees. I don't think that's the worst idea ever. But we're not going to do it before the end of the climb, so we'll just take the 2 points here. And we'll go to Van Baarle. It's not really worked for him. He's hardly got any red energy left. Just get him to take a feed and then really push. But again, not quite going to be enough here, I don't think, to take the point. What the hell happened to Gegenhardt? Oh, for crying out loud. He was about 15 seconds clear. Oh, I give up with this sometimes. I really do. No points there then. The game just is not on my side today. It really isn't. I took control of Van Baarle. I thought Gegenhardt got those 2 points, but as soon as I started controlling Van Baarle, Gegenhardt thought, right, I'll just stop. This is, well, strange. The game really not going for us today. But I suppose you have those days, and now Gegenhardt's changed things up a bit. He's morphed through about 10 riders. Well, there you go. Again, 1 point available for being in the peloton here. I just don't think we've took our chances today. Really don't think we have. I think we ought to just ensure a minimum tempo. Sure, follow attacks with Gegenhardt and Van Baarle. Don't get caught napping. But, yeah, it's just not been for us. It really hasn't been for us this time, unfortunately. But there is a point available here. And if there's a point available, you know what? We might as well just go for it. Come on. Seeing as we have to mummify you, Ben... I was going to say Ben Swift then. Seeing as we have to control you all the way. Come on, Gegenhardt, that's it. Right, you don't put the brakes on when you see that sign. That's the end of a climb. And there you go. Wasn't that hard, was it? Deary me. Right, we get the point. Good. Good stuff. We've got a sprint coming up next, so I think Ben Swift's the man to be there. Quite happy that he's still in the race. He's doing well, actually. So we've got a sprint, second class climb, and another sprint. So, okay. Maybe I'm a perfectionist. Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I'm just expecting too much from our riders. We've had some good success over the last 2 years, and maybe this first attempt of Paris-Nice is a little bit too much for us. I might be being a bit too harsh. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments, but I guess the past is the past, and all we can influence now is what happens in the near future and what happens in this sprint. So here we are then for the sprint. The peloton has started to break up a little bit now as people have got tired. So the top three are doing well, and Barguil seems to be the man, to be honest. We're going to struggle to catch him up here in terms of for the points classification altogether. But Ben Swift is there. As long as we pick up a good handful of points here, we've done all we can. And just hope that Barguil has maybe exerted himself a little bit too early in this tour, and that we can pick up the pieces at the end. Got to be in it to win it, as they say. And I mean, as you can see, we have got a chance of potentially getting to second here. Don't want to use all our energy too soon. Need to be a bit careful about that. Yeah, Millar is starting to struggle now. I don't think anybody else is really going for it here. And that's one positive of the day. Ben Swift picks up second in the sprint. Happy with that. That's good to see. Any of our other guys get any points? Soon find out, I suppose. I mean, there's only 44 there, so I'd presume that we've got a decent chance. Probably not, though, given that how we've gone today. Let's have a look. Pogacar. No, none of our guys get any points. Bleeding marvellous. Oh, I don't know. Right. Let's get our leaders in to win it now. One last climb left today before the sprint. Gegenhardt, Van Baarle. We've got a good chance for some points. We are not letting Barguil have 5 points. That's not going to happen. So, we'll get Van Baarle to follow any attacks. We'll go on board with our man, TIJ Gegenhardt, and try and get all 5 points. If not, though, the 3 points that are on offer here. So, 3 kilometres to go before the top. Got a good amount of energy, so we might as well use it. We have got a full... Oh, flipping heck. Yeah, not our day. Not our day at all. I mean, we could have crashed. That would have made it even worse. And knowing our luck, we probably will do at some point. Might as well take most of our feed, though, now. We've got Van Baarle as well, so we're going to attack with him. And why not? Medus as well. Come on, Tayo. Give it all you got, son. Let's try and tire everybody else out. There's Barguil just ahead. And he's struggling. He is struggling. Come on, son. He's going for it, though, now. He's seen us behind and he's putting every last bit into this. Come on, Tayo. Come on, son. Yes, a full 5 points. Good lad. Unfortunately, even though we told Van Baarle and Medus to attack, seems to have fallen on deaf ears. But 11 kilometres to go. Well, we might as well use the majority of our feed here and just put a bit of pace in. See what happens. It's a 10 kilometre line we're up to now, and it's a very small gap we've got to the peloton, but I suppose it might be worth trying to go for this. I mean, the peloton is getting smaller and smaller. Only 38 guys in there, and that does include 3 of our guys. So I think we can be very pleased with that. Definitely think we can be very pleased with that. So we now enter the final 10 kilometres. We'll tell Medus in particular, actually, to take all of his blue gel at this point. Tell Swifty to take his red gel. And we'll consume everything with Gegenhardt. But this fourth stage hasn't actually been too bad. We've took some good points in the mountain climbs. Kwiatkowski's going on the attack, but I'm not going to worry about that. And it's Swifty time, basically. But would you know it, Swifty's blown up. Well, hopefully he can get a bit more energy back soon. If he doesn't, well, he's not going to be there for the final sprint, basically. It doesn't look like he's going to be, to be honest. I think he's a bit of a spent force at this point. So, this is getting better and better, isn't it? I just possibly think we've exerted some of our main guys a little bit too early. I don't know. But we don't seem to have the resources that we've had in the past. So, Swifty hasn't really got a chance here. Van Baal's going to have to be the man we focus on just to try and take points off people. I mean, there's 4 stages. Yeah, it's 8 stages, but one of those stages is a time trial. One of them is a flat stage. So we'll look at that for the sprints. And then 2 hilly stages like this that we haven't performed brilliantly on, to be quite honest. So, it's worth thinking about. Definitely worth thinking about. Not much we can do, really. But then you can't win them all, I guess. Only 22 guys in the main breakaway, and there's some solid guys in this, which I guess proves that it's not necessarily mismanagement, it's just that it's just one of those things. Gegenhardt's really struggling there. We've used all of our energy again. You know, there's nothing we can do. There's absolutely nothing we can do here. Van Baal's our only real hope to win the stage. I suppose we just know if we're struggling, then everybody else is too. And there's only 14 guys in the main peloton. Again, that just shows how much of a struggle this stage and the Paris-Nice is. So, again, we can get something from that at least. We know that much. Might as well just tell them 6 without limit. Stick to the wheels in front. Oh, not wait for the following group. Just do all you can, really, at this point. That's all I can ask of the guys. And who knows, we might walk out with a stage win. I very much doubt it. But who knows? I know we haven't got the most amount of energy, but as anyone at this point, you don't know, do you? We might as well go for it. We're certainly going to finish decently with our guys. I mean, 4 of our guys in the top 30 at least it'll be, so that's definitely something to savour. But a kilometre to go here. Don't want to go too early. Haven't got that much energy. Right, come on Van Baal. Yeah, we just haven't got enough, unfortunately, here. Although we'll give it our all. Try and finish as well as we can. And Van Baal ends up 6th. That isn't too bad at all in that main group. Gegenhardt, Medus, Swifty aren't going to end up that bad. Lawless, Bierge and McClay are way off. But no real surprise. Bit of an off day for us, but I guess we just have to take the positives from that in the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome him warmly.
So they're in the win of the stage then in the end. This is a gear. I wonder where Barguil finished up. Who masterminded the early breakaway. Didn't quite work in the end, but got plenty of points. So it definitely did work in the way he intended it to. So, the leader of the general classification at this point is Valverde. Groenewegen still leads the points classification. Millard leads the best climber classification. And Pogacar leads the young rider classification.
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage. Finishing in the top 10, even though the stage didn't suit us, is very satisfying.
Yeah, he makes a good point. Maybe we're being a bit too much of a perfectionist. Medus, Gegenhardt and Van Baal all in the top 20. That's something to be happy about. Gegenhardt picks up 8 points. Nothing really compared to our competitors. Swifty 4th in the points classification. Just in that stage, remember. I think that's something to be proud of. Again, not all that bad. We've got Van Baarle in the top 20 of the classification. I think the general classification's all over. Best climber classification was still there. Points classification, we're definitely still there. So, a lot of positives to draw. I just think we're possibly being a little bit too negative on ourselves. Not too bad at all. So we now enter 2 stages where we can chill out a little bit and regain some energy for the final 2. We've got a time trial which we'll complete in the next episode, as well as that flat stage. And it's not a completely flat stage, there are 3 climbs. So, again, it's a flat stage by name, but definitely not by nature. So, again, not our best day, but to be honest, I think we've been a little bit harsh on ourselves, so not too bad either. Well, if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like down below. We will do the 5th and 6th stages in Saturday's episode before finishing Paris-Nice on next Tuesday's episode with stages 7 and stages 8. Remember to leave a comment as well if you enjoyed, and subscribe for regular Tour de France content on a Tuesday, Thursday and on a Saturday. Thank you for watching, folks, and for your constant support. I see all your comments, all your likes, and it is much appreciated, of course. Until the next time, though, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.